Hello guys, I just wanted to tell you before to start this video. I just checked the videos that I took outside and there was a lot of wind. Also, I wanted to try for the first time this new microphone on the camera. And I just realized that there was so much wind. I will correct this on the post-production by some subtitles, don't worry. Have fun. Is it dangerous to live in Turkey? For me, absolutely not. If you are new on this channel, I am from France. I'm living in Turkey at Istanbul since 2 years now. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I'm receiving all the time a lot of messages, like some questions like this from friends of mine or from my family. Are you feeling safe here? Do you need additional safety things for yourself? Like for your own security? I'm feeling totally in a safe place here actually since I'm living here. And now, after this little introduction, should I compare the two countries, France and Turkey, or the two cities, Istanbul and Paris? Well, from what I know, on my own perspective, I lived at Paris 6 years, 5 years and a half, almost 6 years. I always felt concerned about where should I go, should I be more on alert, you know, for myself, for my own safety in some streets. I thought like this most of the time when I was in Paris. But when I'm talking about Paris, I'm talking about the inner center of Paris, not the suburban area around with some shitty neighborhoods. I'm talking about the real Paris, the inner center. I totally admit that there are some places in Turkey who are not safe. However, I've never been in these places. I most of the time went in the touristical areas, like the west coast of the country, the south, where all the tourists are going. I heard many times about the southeast of Turkey. There are tensions about communities, especially between Turkish and Kurdish. But that's only what I heard. I've never experimented this place, I've never traveled there, I've never seen anything like this in Turkey at Istanbul and the other place where I went, but I just heard this kind of comments, you know. It's just some stories that I heard, never seen that in real. So overall, I will not talk about that further than this. Now, in the other end, for Paris and Istanbul, I can tell you at 100% Istanbul is really safe compared to Paris. No doubt about it, absolutely no doubt. I am totally clear on it. At Istanbul, as I said, I'm living here since 2 years. I've never had any problems with anybody, except one time, because I need to give you all the details. I got scammed by a taxi driver, and I couldn't let him go, so I defended myself. It was not a physical fight, you know, we just argued a lot, and then I just left his taxi. We were close to fight actually. But it's not tolerable what he did to me, so I had my own reason to express myself like this and to react about what he did to me. And this kind of scams, you know, I shouldn't trivialize this because many people have some problems with the taxi drivers here. It's kind of a madness. They are very problematic people, I can tell. But overall, that's the only issue that I had since I'm here. And as I said, this feeling that you have when you are at Paris, this feeling that you are constantly under pressure, you know, like you are feeling unsafe constantly, you don't have this feeling at all here. It's just black and white, you know, there is not even a comparison. You cannot compare, it's too different. At Paris, with the pickpockets in the public transport, thieves who are always trying to robbery you, carjacking, scams with tourists most of the time in streets, and some kind of ghetto groups who are hanging together in streets. Most of the time I know that they like to gather each other at Châtelet. It's the inner center of Paris, connected by a lot of different kind of metro lines. They like to hanging there and together there, and they like to fight each other there. I can tell you this because I saw that from my eyes, so I can tell I saw that more than once. I don't need to use internet or anything to talk about Paris because I think I lived there enough to explain my feeling about this place and to told you guys about what it's really like. I have genuinely a very big amount of friends who are girls who got harassed in street, who got touched, who had some arguments with some guys in streets all the time. Like there was, I don't know, I had so many friends like this who constantly had problems in street. They were all the time in the defensive mode. I remember, like, I talked about their routine with them when they had to move out of their apartment to go somewhere like university or a party or anything. They simply thought about a lot of details, you know, before to go out. Like, I should do this, I should hide my phone, I should hide my bag, my woman bag, I should wear this kind of clothes, I shouldn't go back at home too late, or maybe I should just use Uber to go back because the public transport are very unsafe. This kind of method, this self-defense method that they just developed is insane for me. Like, what kind of mindset is this? I mean, it's so awful for them, really. I felt so sorry to see that. Here at Istanbul, I know maybe 1 or 2 girls who had some issue in street, but compared to Paris, there is no equivalent. This is insane, really. Even the touristical areas are dangerous, if I can tell. Try to just hanging or roaming around the Eiffel Tower and you will see. People are always coming to see you and try to hit with you in terms of sell you some products who are fake ones. And if you don't accept, they are still trying to negotiate and to insist more and more. And you need actually to be clear since the real beginning, because they will insist the same for the area of Montmartre. Of course, that's where I was living at Paris, so I know pretty well all the hill of Montmartre. Same as well for Champs-Élysées Avenue. There is especially a platoon of cops only for this avenue. Around 400 or 500 cops who are just controlling just this avenue. A special troop just for this avenue, what the fuck? At Istanbul, well, nothing like this. There is not even a connection with all what I said previously with Paris. At Istanbul, I never felt like this so unsafe. And this kind of attitudes that people can have at Paris, people here at Istanbul just don't have that. The spirit in this city at Istanbul is totally different. It's about more the community, you know. People are helpful each other. There is some kind of sense of solidarity, no individualism, which is something very important actually, because it changed a lot the odds. And if someone is starting to bother you in street, and I saw that, that's why I'm telling you this again, if someone's starting to bothering you, you're gonna see a group of people in streets who will come to just split, you know, to just separate you with the person who's bothering you directly. It's like, you know, it's like a reaction. Like, it's normal here. People are reacting like this naturally. And I do, as I said, this video because I really would like to make it clear, like, how people are thinking, I think, wrong about Paris and Istanbul. Paris is a dreamland, I mean, how can you leave Paris to Istanbul? You know, this kind of shit. For me, this is really not understandable to hear that. Also, for the people who never came to Istanbul, don't be afraid to come here, really. Just be careful about taxi drivers because they try to scam you. This is serious actually. But for the rest overall, I have absolutely no complaint. This place is, for me, really, really nice and very, very safe. You know, French friends of mine have some kind of biased vision of Istanbul and Turkey because I think they are just watching and listening the news, and the news, I don't know why they are not giving like the best example to follow. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just living in a parallel world, but I don't think really. I think after 2 years you have enough experience and you have enough time to talk deeply about where you live. That's what I'm thinking. And anyway, if you don't believe me, just make the test. Just try to go in Paris. Let's say 1, 2, 3 weeks. And next, let's try to come to Istanbul and travel here, and you will see by yourself after all who I am to tell you how it's like there and there. Just do that for yourself. Anyway, I will be curious to hear your feeling about that. If someone came here in Istanbul for travel, and if someone came to Paris for travel, I would like to know the feelings about your travels there at Istanbul or Paris. I'm curious about to hear it. Of course, everybody has his own taste in terms of travels, in terms of place to visit, in terms of food and so on. But I think in terms of safety, there are some stuff that are indelible, or let's say universal anyway. I'm not saying I am the truth about it, but I think for that I have enough experience to give you the best tips for these two destinations. So to finish this video, I can just suggest you to come here at Istanbul and to see how it's like, exactly how it's like, what it looks like, how it's like to travel here. Especially in summer, I think this is the best season to come at Istanbul or in Turkey in general. If you're traveling in the west of the Turkey, like Izmir, Kaş, Antalya, Marmaris, Bodrum, if you like white sand beach, colorful sea, beautiful landscape, beautiful places, very cute villages or cities along the shore, magnificent places to snorkeling, to swim, to go in some islands. If you like party, there are plenty of clubs, the ones you need. There are so many. Just come down here and I'm sure you're not gonna regret that. Make sure you give me a like below the video, put a comment if you want, and subscribe to the channel. It's very important for me to support my little project on YouTube. See you around, guys. Güle güle.